I have my raisin toast.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yeah. Good Monday morning, everyone.
I'm choosing joy.
Hey. Sometimes choosing joy means eating unhealthy stuff. Good morning, good morning. Let me have a sip of coffee while it's still hot.
And I can't find you.
Well, Facebook hasn't said, hey, Dre's here.
Apparently not.
Let's have coffee with Dre. Good morning. You guys say hello when you come in, just so I get an opportunity to say hello back. I appreciate that. I think we have a kind of important message today. As usual, it's a message that I think I need. So I'm hoping someone else out there needs it as well. Good morning, you amazing Bobby. She says, good morning, sweet Dre and Deanna. Much love. Jesse's here too this morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Gayla. Good morning, Miss Joyce.
Eating cookies for breakfast.
Jesse's eating cookies for breakfast, but I wasn't going to call her out, but she called herself out. Good morning, Suzanne. Is Colt there? If he is, hi, Colt.
Good morning, good
Oh,
morning.
and Ileana. Good morning, Ileana. It might be a little early for her. I don't know.
Probably not.
Good morning, Kathy. Suzanne says, hey, Jesse.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa Wilson. Good morning. And Bobby says, hugs and love, sweet Jesse. Good morning, Carrie. Carrie, you posted something this weekend. I can't remember what it was. And I thought, wow, she's brilliant. Good morning, Jan. Hey, Sherry McKee, how are you? We're great. Well, okay, when he wakes up, you tell him Dre said, hey. Aw, hi, Eliana. Good morning. Good morning, Tom. How's our Tom doing? Hi, Patty and Kylene. Aw, Henry's being rocked. Good morning, Henry. Aw. Wow, Jan's been busy staying with Dad while Mom's in rehab. Bless your heart. Tom says, good morning, Dre, Deanna, and Jesse.
Good morning, Tom.
Hi, Hallie. Long
Morning,
time no
Nadine.
see. How you doing? Good morning, Miss Vicky Zaretsky. I just love saying her name,
I know
don't
you
I?
do, yes.
Good morning, Linda. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Dre this fine April morning. Yeah. I might need a dose of something. Well, Katie, good luck at your doctor appointment. Good morning, sweet girl. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Other than that. Hi, Kay. How are you? Well, it's overcast and a tad cool here this morning. Kindy, good morning, Dre. So happy to see you. You bring me joy. Aw, thank you. Well, you guys all bring me joy. Good morning, my little cupcake.
What? Monkey's on?
Yeah, she said, good morning, Jelly Bean.
What am I, chopped liver?
I'm making y'all shirts.
You are. Good morning, Carol. How are ya? I could be better. Darn toothache had me down all weekend. I can get in tomorrow. Thank goodness. Oh, toothaches are the worst.
Ew.
That's all you can think about is the pain. Better only be good news.
About time, monkey.
That's right.
Morning, Nadine.
Hi, Nadine. How are you?
I'm glad I can see your comments.
Hey, Tracy. Good morning, my Louisiana girl. So, today I thought we would kind of start our discussion on never giving up. Y'all all know how Coffee with Dre works. Aw, thank you, Hallie.
I got a good topic for you.
It's snowing in North Dakota.
Ooh, I bet you that's pretty.
I'll bet it is. Not that I want
I'm
snow.
on my way. I like
What Kendi says was asked to teach wreath making classes. I'm so excited. Good for you. Good morning, Susan Galley. That's awesome, Kendi. Yay! Yay!
I got a topic for next Monday.
Yes, Katie, we need to, I'm going to have Deanna write the prayers down. Katie needs prayers. She has 2 blood clots that need to go away.
Put, Katie Marshall. Show me who it is.
Still trying to figure out a one-handed bow. Don't ask me. Good morning, Avenel. Good morning. How are you? I got to meet her. Was that Friday?
I know they told me that y'all
Thursday.
came by and
Thursday or Friday?
because
Thursday.
I had come back.
Jessie came back and she was really sad she didn't get to meet you, Avenel.
Yeah.
Thank you
you're
for
an awesome
saying
lady.
good morning, though.
Yes, awesome lady.
She came by the warehouse, did a little shopping, but it was really cool to get to meet her.
Yeah.
She pops on and says, hey, from McMahon, which is like, I don't know, 10 minutes down the road from me or 15. And so it was nice to get to meet her.
I want to go.
Good
get
morning,
some pizza.
Lynette. Good morning, Sandy. Hi, Vicky Spade. Trina, good morning.
Yes,
We're still praying for you too, girl. Good morning, Miss Michelle. Michelle,
Long
let me
run.
tell you something. Miss Jackson. You know I follow you, obviously. You post some of the most amazing things. They're always encouraging, never downer, always encouraging. I love that about you. So thank you for lighting up the internet with some positivity. I love it. Plus your work is awesome too.
I fully believe that the energy you put out comes back to you. So
Yes, it does.
Avenel says, I will be back. I joined your private group.
who did?
Avenel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we might.
Awesome.
Avenel, were you able to get to the Facebook group? Go to Dre's Creative Corral and request to join, and we'll let you in.
Yeah,
I'm
good
glad.
Girl, Lucy. Good girl.
No, thank you, Michelle. It does my heart good to see, and you are Johnny on the spot too with a lot of what you say. Now let's talk about our subject, and if y'all need prayers, encouragement, if you have a subject we all can help with, it is an interchange of encouragement. It's not all about me and what I have to say. Hi Lee, welcome. Hey Miss Phyllis, how are you? Good morning.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna say the last week or so, I let myself get discouraged. Sometimes when we see others' success at the very thing that we do, and we feel like we're not moving along like we should. Susan Galley, I need prayers that I finally get my hot water installed. 5 days. Ooh.
I do too, Nadine. We'll find out this afternoon.
We can see you here, Nadine.
I know, right?
Bless her heart. She's had such trouble being seen in our group. Anyway, so I allowed this, not necessarily jealousy, envy maybe. I'm not really a jealous person. Where I thought, wow, that's something that I have put into place and I haven't had the success that this person or persons has had. What am I doing wrong? Or what I should have been thinking is, what are they doing right? What lesson can I learn from what is working for them? That's not copying. I don't like doing that. But it's looking at what they're doing and thinking, seeing if maybe it isn't necessarily that I did something wrong.
It's reassessing.
Maybe,
Reassessing.
it is reassessing, and it's allowing myself to not give up. Good morning, Regina. How's my beautiful friend? Kendi, thank you. Need prayers for the Jarman family and the King family. Also, Altman, each passed on a Thursday, 3 weeks straight. They were all related one way or another. Wow. That is sad. That's a lot of loss for one family. We certainly will, Kendi. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Prayers needed. We are in process and get my 6-year-old grandson that has autism. We will pray for success for you, Trina. Your daughter's vacuuming. Well, that's a great thing. Okay. She's doing just peachy. So, in this lesson, I felt like I needed to learn. You know, of course, I pray about it a lot. Like, why am I having these feelings? I don't like these feelings. And I realized I wasn't allowing myself to receive the support and encouragement my circle has been trying to give me in order for me to let go of that and move forward.
Let go and grow.
Let go and grow. Absolutely. That's another t-shirt.
Bloom where you're planted.
Bloom where you're planted. Pray for Jan. Pray for Mom Fran. She wants to come home, but it's too soon. It could be easier for Dad's care if she did, but I want her healthy. Wow. We will definitely do that. Deanna's taking prayer request notes. Also, you may go into the Power to Be You with an exclamation at the end and do any prayer requests or anything positive. It's a safe place. Anybody negative or, you know, not nice, banned. Yeah. And then I read something that Nelson Mandela said. He said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail." Now, I don't necessarily believe in failing in the truest sense of the word. I believe that failure is really an opportunity for growth, that we can learn something from something that didn't work. And either we learn, okay, this is not for me, I need to move on, not give up, move on, or I need to put these other things into play to have this success.
Something I was told in therapy that years ago that I still hold on to is that sometimes you learn more in the spiral down than the climb up.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Sheena. Right? You got me singing that song now, Bobby.
I know, right?
It's one of my favorites, and I hum it every now and again.
Regina.
You're funny, Regina. I love hanging out with Regina. She's such a beacon. Phyllis, you just don't know how many people you have encouraged and helped during your journey. Oh, thank you. And you know that's goes for each of you as well. We don't always know. Yes, Trina, we do need to remember that God is in control. That is absolutely true. Prayers for me that my car doesn't cost much to fix. Wouldn't work for me this morning. Not a good time for this to happen. Oh, Miss Joyce, I'm so sorry. Good morning, Marie. Give Bill a big slappy kiss for me.
Marie!
Do you remember our talk last night about choices? Sorry, that was Peanut.
We got the cats out this morning. And hair flying.
About how, you know, how we have billions of choices that led us to here.
Mm-hmm.
Billions of choices, you know, in us and in our DNA and in our history. Mm-hmm. And how our small choices can affect the future as well. But how you don't know, and sometimes there's a blessing in not knowing how your choices can affect.
That's true, because sometimes we don't need to know the other side. Good morning, Miss Shauna. Girl, your designs are on spot on. They're beautiful. Good morning,
buddy.
Miss Sue. Yeah, it is your diet buddy. Hey, Dunk. Oh yeah, stop working on the CEUs. You don't need that mess. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. And we have to remember that our present circumstance, situation, whatever you want to call it, is not our final destination. That final destination is where we put work into getting there. There was another quote. I wrote it down. Let me find it. Now it was said that Napoleon Bonaparte said this. He said, I know, courage isn't having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have the strength. Isn't that something? And I guess if I had to pick a quote that would work in my life, that would be it. when my two children were killed in that accident, this month makes 21 years, by the way, I did not have the strength to go on. Every fiber of my being did not want to move on or go on, or I just didn't have it. But somehow I mustered the courage, with God's help, the support and encouragement of those inside my life, and I went on. Even without the strength to go on, I managed. And managing to do that is what taught me about choosing joy and why that is so important. I'm using my hand. I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands, and she's messing with me. So, you know, sometimes the circumstance we're in is unbearable. The pain is immeasurable. That would be, generally speaking, that's when we're watching a loved one suffer with a terrible illness or the loss of a loved one. Those would be those circumstances that have that immeasurable pain and zap every ounce of strength out of you that you've got. Good morning, Misty. Aw, good morning, Pam. Aw, Misty, I'm glad you're choosing joy. You got this, girl.
It's gonna rain all
Sandy,
week.
after losing the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon went on to be successful. Yes, he did. And look how many, all these centuries later, and look, we still talk about Napoleon. Anyway,
well, after all these centuries, we talk about Drea and choosing joy.
After all these centuries?
Again, there's more of those choices that lead you and that you lead on as well.
That's true. And so, the journey, our life, our mission, if we choose to receive it, is to make sure that someone, anyone, one person gains something positive from our journey. God gives us that power. You know, God didn't make us to not succeed by using the gifts he gave us. We're assured success with those gifts. God's in control. There's a scripture that I think is very encouraging for us.
I'm sorry. Phyllis said he represented all the short people.
He did. Aw, thanks, Vicky. That's very kind. Phyllis, that's really funny and true. So the scripture is Galatians 6:9. Now, I was just telling Loretta how much I really enjoy the Bible books that were letters that Paul wrote to the congregations there. And this, of course, was to the congregation, the Galatian congregation. And this is what he says. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Now, this, of course, was to Christians at that time. But we can certainly apply that to ourselves now. We're going to get tired. We're going to get frustrated. We're going to get sad. We're going to get mad. We're going to feel all those emotions. We're human. We're supposed to. The key is in not giving up. Keep your eyes on the prize, your prize. Focus on the positive. Sometimes that is not so easy, focusing on the positive. A bug got on me. Anyway, sometimes that is one of the more difficult things that we have to do, but we have to do it. If we're in process of raising our young children, it is extremely important that we do that because they are learning how to react from you. And they're battling whatever misery is going on in the school systems. So we, as their parents, while we're raising them, have to what Bobby say? Accentuate the positive. We have to find the positive even in the worst things they go through. Break up with a boyfriend, things like that. Those are things we have to deal with our teenagers, generally speaking. Hopefully not any younger than that. We have to find a way for them to focus on the positive experience of that relationship that ended, right? We can't do that if they're not seeing the actions. Actions speak louder than words. Why are you telling me to do that, Mom, if you don't do it? You know, I mean, come on. I was a kid. I know what I thought. ER doctor. Wait.
Yeah, good one.
Carrie, ER doctor said Saturday that my attitude was an indication that I would heal well. Gonna make sure the best of it for sure. Gonna make the best of it for sure.
And that is very true. Go ahead. See Bobby's.
You always have the best attitude. One of the things I love about you. That's to Carrie. Good morning, Kimberly. Hey. Beautiful, beautiful lady. Also an encouraging lady.
Bobby says, we all fall, but it's not about focusing on the skinned knees, but the getting back up and moving forward. God will always set us back on the right path.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Peachy.
And how many times, if you look back at your life, how many times did you plow through, good morning, Retta, whatever the circumstance is, and you come out on the other side and you have this amazing harvest because you plowed through. It's not always easy. It's, nobody said it would be.
We make it harder than what we need to.
Yeah, Retta, we know you got skin knees. That's a state of being for you. She fell at my house this weekend. Down the stairs. She's fine. Drea, my husband and I could use some prayers. We're coming to a crossroads with our special needs daughter. She has made no progress in her illness since being home for 1.5 years. That's Hallie.
Yeah.
Hallie, I'm so sorry.
Sorry if I'm shaking the table.
So, if you look back in your life, there were so many times. Like for me, of course, the loss of the kids. I'm never going to make it through this. This is too hard. I can't do this, God. I can't. I did. I still am. But I did. I made it through the worst of it. A divorce from the love of my life, I thought. Horrible divorce. I didn't want it. I thought, I'm never going to make it through this. I will never have any kind of future again. I give up. But I made it through. And I'm okay for it. And I learned from it. And I'm probably a better person. I'm going to kick you. Oh, I'm just kidding. Ow! I'm probably a better person for having gone through that. Oh my gosh, losing our home. After the divorce, I was unable to keep the home.
Fighting for my insurance.
That, I thought, this home I wanted to live in till the end, to finish my journey in, I'm losing. What am I ever going to do? Oh my gosh, fighting for Jessie for her insurance. Oh my goodness. We all just wanted to throw our hands up and say, forget it. We'll just go get free health care. Oh geez, there's so many things in life that come along. The search for my birth father. I thought I would never find him. I searched for him for 17 years after I knew he existed. I was about ready to give up. Something happened, which is in the book, so I'm not going to give you the whole story, but something happened and I was able to find him.
Amen, Trina.
So all these things, these major things in your life, you think you're not going to make it through, and somehow you found it. You had the strength to make it through. You just didn't know you had it.
Make the choices.
That's right. And you make the choices that make it possible. And that strength is part of that power that we talk about a lot. That's within you. You have it. You've got this.
You have to train your free will.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
You really do. And that's why it's so important that we cultivate things like love, joy, peace, understanding, the fruits of the Spirit. It's important that we cultivate them so that when we do have to find that core strength or whatever it is that's going to help us through the situation, the circumstance, be it a circumstance of our own making or a circumstance we had no control over, if we've cultivated these things, we have a reserve. We don't feel like we do, but we do. Those of us that are Christian then turn to God and ask and beg even, please give me the wisdom. Give me the direction. Help me find my strength, God. Help me use my gifts, God. And he helps. He helps. Because he tells us, Paul told us that God didn't want us to give up. Well, if he didn't want us to give up, he must give us the strength, right? He helps us find that. But we can't just say, give it to me. And it comes. You know, it's like money doesn't just fall in most of our laps anyway. Money doesn't just come. We have to work for it. We have to earn it, right? We have to cultivate. Same thing with our strength and all of those amazing virtues that most of us actually have. We just need to remind ourselves and work on them and cultivate them. When the kids were growing up, I used to put one of the virtues on the refrigerator, and it was our virtue for that month. I had learned early on in some psychology classes that it takes about 3 weeks to stop a habit or to gain a habit. So for that month, I know a month is more than 3 weeks, but we did it for a month. That's what we talked about. How did you find joy today? What'd you do? What happened in school? Those things. And it helps you cultivate those fruits of the Spirit that help us move on in our lives when we need it. Is there something I need to say? There are times when I say, Lord, my shoulders are not as big as you think they are. I'm going to tell him that Misty told me that. Because sometimes I go to God and I'm like, you know, I know you don't give us more than we can bear, but Lord, I don't think I can bear anything else, you know. But yet we find a way. There's something that my kids, they still make fun of me for it now. Ever since I had an answering machine, which would have been the late 70s.
I know it's...
I don't say, you know, I say, leave a message and make it a great day for yourself. Well, my children think that they should pick on me for that all their lives. I started that pre-children.
And make it a great day for yourself.
Right. Because I could say the normal, which is have a great day, but we don't always get to have one. They aren't necessarily handed to us all the time. Sometimes. But if we go out there and make an effort to make it a great day for yourself because you deserve it, then it happens. You got this. Now, y'all, you know that I've got my 3-day rule, except for in serious circumstance like loss of a loved one, that kind of thing.
You gave me a week after my diabetes.
Yes, Jessie, when she was diagnosed with diabetes, she was sad. She was a child still, so she was sad in the way that a child is sad, afraid, unsure, insecure, as was I as her parent. And of course I felt the guilt. Why didn't you give it to me? Why'd you give it to her? That kind of thing. However, my rule is this. You can kick, scream, punch, yell, cuss, everything. You got 3 days. 72 hours. At the end of that time, find your courage. Pick yourself up. Put your big girl panties on. You know, get back on the saddle. Whatever it is your saying is, do that. Because we're human.
Order?
And we're, no. And
No, I was thinking just about what she said.
we're going to have sad things happen, bad things happen, things we think we can't handle. It's the course of life. It's part of it. So we need to allow ourselves to feel what we need to feel.
But waller in it?
Waller in it. Yes. Get all pruny in it. Whatever. But never, what? Never give up. Because when you're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on your faith. You're giving up on your family. You're giving up on your community. You don't know how many people are affected by your choice. Yes, your choices and your choice to give up. And why are you going to give up anyway? You might have to alter your course a little. If you fall down, like Loretta seems to do every time she's at my house, if you fall down, get up. You can get up. Good morning,
Kelly.
And like I said earlier, your present situation isn't the final destination. It's up to you. And you have that power to give up. And not, or to not give up. Not giving up sometimes is hard. I'm certainly not minimizing anybody's pain or sorrow. But you have the ability to not give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't. Giving up on yourself is harmful to all those around you. Know your worth. Ranch House is celebrating you. That's our theme this year. Celebrate you. You spend your time celebrating others. It's time to celebrate you. Yes. I know it's a lesson I gotta learn regularly. They always,
see the fingers?
They always make sure to slap me with my own words. Don't worry. And
I think we all three just got slapped.
Don't be afraid to ask for support and encouragement.
That's hard to do sometimes.
It is hard. You know, our pastor said last Sunday, Easter Sunday, he said one of the things that upsets him about Christians is we're hurting or we're sick and we refuse to ask for prayer from fellow Christians. That is some of that encouragement we need. And so, shame on us. We should ask. Doesn't mean that somebody else is going to be able to solve your problems. Generally speaking, that's not the case. But there's no harm in asking.
By not asking, you're taking away the opportunity of someone else to be able to give a blessing.
Yes, if you refuse to receive, you don't allow them to be blessed or
also
give.
Also falls back to know your worth, because you want to pray for everybody and help them, but you don't feel you're worthy enough to ask for help. So know your worth. You are worth asking. You are worthy of asking and receiving the same thing that other people are asking for.
Exactly. Hallie says, I tell my special needs daughter it's okay to have a breakdown and cry as long as you need to. Then move on and have a better day.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. Susan Galley, we are so busy taking care of everyone else, we forget to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm super guilty of that. I'm working on it though. Dana, thanks to you, Drea, I found myself telling people not to let the trolls steal their joy and power. Absolutely. That's a power we have actually, is to allow, good morning, Angela, to give other people some of that power. And in the case of trolls, they're just mean. You know, isn't it a sad thing that they spend their lives trying to make other people sad or miserable? That's a sad state of being. I think we need to pray for all the trolls, all the negative Nellies. I think I missed something up here. Regina, I'm still standing and breathing. Whatever the situation may be, I'm still breathing and standing. What a blessing. Amen. Good morning, Kelly. How are you, beautiful? I needed it too, Kelly. I guess, you know, sometimes these coffee, Monday morning coffee is about what I needed, or what lesson I learned or felt like I needed to learn. And also,
poof, there it goes.
No, I wanted to talk about first impressions versus lasting impressions as well. Sometimes we get a first impression of a person, and after we get to know them, that first impression is no longer true. That is when we have decisions to make. That is when we decide, or is that person bringing positivity into my life, Or is that person bringing negativity into my life? Y'all, I don't have time. I have spent so much of my journey allowing either toxic or negative people in my life, not realizing that I have the power to remove them. And it's okay, whether they're family or whether they're a friend or a coworker or whatever. It's okay if that first impression we had turns out to be wrong and they are not the person we need in our life. It's okay. Doesn't mean you can't keep them in your heart and in your prayers. It just means they don't have a place in your life.
Sometimes their place in your life is to teach you a lesson.
Right. Exactly. Sometimes we've learned a lesson from them. Regina. Yeah, and it's true. And sometimes that first impression, and they turn out to be who you thought they were, and then you've allowed an amazing positive human being into your life, which makes your journey even better, right?
Yes, girl.
Yes, like a couple of years ago when I met Deanna.
I thought she was awesome. And then
I
she
had
turned
a
out
great
to be
first
awesome.
impression of her, and then I was able to see she is who I think she is. She's good for me in my life. I hope that I was good for her. I am good for her. Well, I must be, or you wouldn't be around, right?
Oh, amen
Good
to
for
that.
her in her life. Monkey is another one. Well,
Oh, yeah.
my beautiful Michelle. You know, I followed her like everybody else because she's an amazing designer. She's like the queen of the UITC. Nobody, I'm telling you, nobody can design like she can when it comes to UITC. And her Texas wreaths too.
Peanut,
oh, good
quit.
Lord. They're amazing. So if you don't follow Monkey's Creations, you should. Anyway, having said that, I am so blessed to call her friend. When I talk about my circle, she's one of them. She will call me. No kidding, y'all. She will call me and say, "What the hell are you thinking? What are you doing?"
Yep.
And bring some clarity for me. She teases me and says, "You need to you need to take some Claritin for clarity." And I'll send you a check. And my first impression of her was what an amazing human being she is. Then I found out she served in the military. Plus she was a nurse. Oh my God, what better person could this be? And that's what I thought of her. Then I got to spend time with her and hang out with her, and we became friends. And we have that circle. I won't call her and cuss her out because, well, no. She was in the military and a nurse. She knows all ways to kill. No.
I'll message her and go, "What are you thinking?"
Yeah. She's one of the first people I think of when I want to tell somebody something. So
What?
She said one of.
Okay.
the reason I bring this up is because I have received messages and seen, and in comments seen, so many of you that have blocked yourself off from people because you've been hurt or betrayed or let down. Stop. Don't do that. Allow your first impression, your gut feeling about someone to lead you. If I had not done that, I wouldn't have Deanna. I wouldn't have Michelle. There are other people as well that is the case with, just probably people you don't necessarily know. There are others that I've allowed into my life that were not good for me for very long. But I did learn from them, and that lesson doesn't mean I didn't need them in my life. I perhaps needed to learn a lesson. Doesn't mean I don't care about them. Doesn't mean I don't pray about them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have a place in my life for them. They are good for someone else, but not necessarily for me. I hope that makes sense. And that allowed me to see, okay, I can do this. there are family members, parents even, that were not good. They were bringing me down. I mean, down. And it wasn't good for me. So I had to make choices. Still love them. Still pray for them. Can't be in my life. Let's see. Ramona Boudreaux. Oh, God, I love her name too. Just wanted to thank you and everyone else who had said prayers for my son, Jude. He's doing really good after being really sick for 3 weeks, and he's back to work. Praying you have a great day. Oh,
Awesome.
Thank you, and thank you for letting us know that prayers worked.
That's a thank you, Jesus moment.
Kimberly said, Deanna is awesome. Just laid back and keep it. She is awesome in lots of ways, y'all.
What you see is what you get. I can't fake it.
And she doesn't really have a filter, so be careful what you ask.
She's enriched my life tenfold.
Who are you?
I know. Who are you?
She's enriched my life tenfold.
I'm your daughter.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. That's very sweet
Can I
of
see
you.
the DNA?
And just so you know, those stars we don't keep. Once we figure out what we have in them, we donate to the local animal shelter.
My brothers
No, thanks, Kimberly. You're
did
awesome.
convince me
She
when I
is
was.
awesome.
My brothers did convince me when I was little that they found me behind a dumpster at HEB.
You know, Kimberly's
I think I have
another
pictures.
one. I'm gonna call you out a little bit, Kimberly White Brookins. Just nothing negative. We had been in a couple of groups together, so we knew each other by name and little conversations inside of groups, right? Well, we got to meet at an event that Jackie blew it through with Jackie's Recent Things, and I was, intimidated by her. She's got this beautiful, shining attitude and personality. And I thought, maybe awe. I was in awe with her. And I think it was her sister. Was it her sister or sister-in-law? Anyway, got to meet him. And Dylan and I were friends. And they were friends with Dylan. And so I was able to go to their table because Dylan was there. So I really got to spend a little bit of time getting to know her. She's amazing. She is a very Christ-like human being. She's been through some really, really, really bad things in the recent year or two. And her attitude just makes you want to cry.
Thank you, Dana.
If you knew what she'd been through, and then you get to see her positive comments and things, she's exactly who my first impression of her was. She's an amazing human being with a beautiful heart, and she just glows, and it makes me happy to know
She has
her.
a beautiful spirit.
She does. Maybe that's what it was. I was in awe of her spirit.
Yeah.
Besides, she's gorgeous, so I didn't want to like her, but I did.
I call those people the ones that have sun-like spirits, because what does the sun do? It gives off light and gives life, right? But also it pulls you in with the gravity.
It does, but it makes me really hot and sweaty too.
That's true that.
Linda, Drea, you are so amazing. Oh,
Today
and touch so many people with your positive attitude. How can you be intimidated by anyone? It happens.
Yeah, it does.
It happens. And y'all, I have people that I really look up to for whatever reason. And I get all giddy and stuff, like when I've met them. And then when I get to spend it, and that's the blessing. Iron sharpens iron. You see? This is what I mean about Kimberly. And that is so true. And that is why we need to surround ourselves by people like her, so that we can sharpen one another. Oh, Dora Lynn, we'll keep you in our prayers. Y'all keep Dora Lynn in our prayers. She says she's having pre-surgery testing and her anxiety is through the roof. Anxiety is no joke.
Nope, it ain't.
I don't know if you like tea, and this is going to sound so petty, but sometimes, I know I'm a coffee drinker, but I also love a good hot tea. Have a good calming tea, and maybe, if you can, sit down outside and just take it all in.
Sometimes holding that warm mug in your hands helps.
Brings you a little comfort.
It helps center you.
Good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl, I hope everything's going good for you. Darlene started chemo this past Friday, not doing so good this time. Prayers appreciated.
Absolutely,
Girl.
darling.
You're always in my prayers. Yeah, all right.
Keep your
there
faith,
you go.
girlfriend.
Lemon balm tea. Whenever I get anxious, I like the chamomile or chamomile, depending on where you're from. I also drink peppermint spearmint tea. And just sitting down with that hot cup of tea sometimes kind of calms the anxiety a little. Seems petty.
Hey,
Not.
Cheryl Brock.
So far, so good, but the day's young. Make it a great day,
Before
Cheryl.
you end your live, you have to tell the story of what's happening at the warehouse.
Dana, that is true.
Just
We
let
all
me know.
blow. Sometimes we get a little tarnished
Absolutely.
and need someone else to help polish us up. Kind of like straightening the crown.
And isn't it beautiful that I have so many people in my life that don't mind straightening my crown? Because it's a regular job, y'all. That sucker's falling all the time.
I got you, Micah.
And I want you to know how important each and every one of you are to us, to me, to Jessie, to Deanna, to Deborah, Loretta. We gain so much strength from you and so much of that power of positivity. And that's what we need. You know, I have a gasoline vehicle. If I put diesel in it, it's going to break down. So in this scenario that I'm making up as I go right now, diesel is bad. It's negativity. But if I fill it with the proper fuel, the positivity, it'll take me anywhere I need to go, anywhere I want to go, right? Be sure that you fuel up with positivity. It is so easy, and it seems like right now in America, maybe in other places in the world, negativity seems to be the order of the day. Don't let it suck you in. Do not. You're going to sit there idle. You're not going to be able to move because you're filling yourself with the wrong fuel. Fuel yourself with positivity. Oh, Dana, that's funny. My little stalker friend. That's funny. She says I should wear the crown.
Yeah, Cheryl Brock says, Drea wants to simply say from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're an amazing human being, Cheryl. And I know that because I got to meet you. And daughters. You got this. You really, really do. And we do have you in our prayers. And what you don't have, God will help you with. Y'all, I try not to make coffee with Dre preachy. I don't know that that's a good word. But I want you to understand.
You try to make it inspiring.
That part of being, yes, thank you, being inspiring is being inspired by and held up by our loving Heavenly Father. He loves us. He wants us to have good lives. Science doesn't understand why our bodies break down. He didn't make us to break down. He didn't make us to be depressed. He made us to be happy. He put us in a beautiful garden. That doesn't sound like somebody that wants us to be miserable. So, never give up your faith. It's so easy. Again, I'll use when my kids died. It was very difficult to continue in the faith, to walk that walk. Not at first, because you're kind of in a trance almost. You just are going through the motions of however your life was prior to losing them, right? Going to church, saying your prayers, reading your Bible, all those things that you did before, you continue to do because your body, your mind needs that. Okay.
Linda says, I don't get to visit with you every week because I often work on Monday mornings, but my weeks always seem to go so much better when I'm able to visit with you and all our friends on this site. Thank you so much.
Thank you. What kind words are those? Thank you so much. And that is why
Thanks,
we keep
Dana.
up. 3 years, y'all, we've been doing this. What's my point?
I don't know. I interrupted you.
Going through the motions.
Yes, just going through the motions. And then there came a point where I came out of that fog of grief. Not that I stopped grieving, but and boy, did I get mad at God. Let me tell you something. I used words I shouldn't use. I would have never used those words on my earth parents, but I did on him because I couldn't understand why he would allow these two amazing people who studied the Bible with other people. My daughter went to nursing homes and read the Bible to them because they couldn't read it for themselves. Why would you let them die, right? And so I went through that, and then I struggled with my faith for a number of years, and then I walked away from it. I thought, I can't do this. If you are the loving Father that we've been raised to believe you are, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't let children die. You wouldn't let cancer be here. All the things, I was like, ah. So I did. I walked away, and I told Jessica, I just don't even know anymore. I just don't even know. I stopped praying, all of it. And then one day, I guess he talked to me. Not physically, but And I thought, okay, I believe in creation. So if I believe in creation, I got to believe in God. And if he created us, much like our children are sort of created by us, he must love me. He must be a loving dad. Just like our children that we love go out and make mistakes, and they have to be held accountable and responsible for those mistakes, doesn't mean that I don't love that child. Sometimes they have to suffer through, and sometimes I can't help them for whatever reason, right? So when I started being logical again and making sense to myself again, probably 10 years passed from the accident to this point. I found my faith again. I found my Heavenly Father again, and I talked to him. And I know that this happened with Jesse too, where you just get so overwhelmed by the pain and by the sadness around you, your own personal pain and the sadness around you that affects others, that you can lose your faith. But remember that scripture, Galatians 6:9, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So if we don't give up our faith in ourselves and in our Father, we will reap. Because y'all, we reap what we sow. So if you're sowing negativity, guess what you're going to reap? If you're sowing positivity, if you're sowing joy, guess what you're going to reap? And that is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. There were many nights and days of crying, begging his forgiveness for all the ugliness I felt, thought, and said about him. But what I got from that is, it's okay. It's okay, Andrea. It's all right. I still love you. You're still my child. I want to help you. You got to ask.
You're shaking the table.
Lucy,
you're shaking the table, honey.
Phyllis, sometimes people and family are with us for a short time because their journey or assignment was done. Absolutely. And we have to continue and learn from them and their experiences. Truth. Beautifully said, Phyllis. Yeah. Linda, he knows us inside and out, and he waited until you were ready to hear and understand again. Absolutely. Triumph is just oomph added to try. That's good, Sandy. That. I like that. And you're absolutely right. And he knows the secret person of the heart. I talk about this a lot within, when we have our spiritual discussions. It's that secret person of the heart that only you and God know. It doesn't matter how close someone is to you. They don't know that secret person. Only God knows. And you. It's that secret person of the heart that is the true you. And he knew that secret person of the heart, of my heart, loved him, believed in him, had faith in him. And like was said by Phyllis, I wasn't ready to receive. But when I was ready, he found a way for me to ask, and then I received. Spam risk, go away. Micah, that's it. You know, isn't that encouraging knowing that other people had to struggle to re-find their faith? It's encouraging to know that, I think. Love you too. Hope to see you soon too, Marie. Really, for real. Oh, Hallie. Oh, Nadine. I so need this today, feeling very lonely and empty. My late hubby's birthday is Wednesday and really missing him. Oh, Nadine. Pretend like we're wrapping our arms around you and giving you a great big hug.
Y'all put your right hand on your heart, and that's hugs from us.
Yes, it is.
So anytime you feel you need a hug, put your right hand on your heart and think of us.
Drea is hugging you. Well, y'all.
Oh, you gotta tell the story.
Oh, Jesse wants me to tell you the story real. Joan, I still feel like I'm living a horrible dream. Oh, Joni, my sweet, sweet friend. That's gonna last. Joan has also lost a child, a grown child, but still a child to her. Mm-hmm. I think it was in November. So she's going through all the firsts. You know, the first Easter without her son, the first spring, the first summer, the first fourth. All the firsts are so difficult. And she's absolutely right. It's like, it's so surreal. It's like you're watching a really tragically sad movie. And I guess sometimes that's our way of maybe making a separation from our pain. I don't know. But Joan, do know that I keep you in my prayers. And I was just saying something, was it yesterday? To Deanna about you yesterday, and that I hoped you were doing well, because I knew it gets worse before it gets better, kind of thing. Wednesday could be a day for celebrating all the wonderful things you shared. Celebrate instead of feeling sorrowful. Absolutely. Great advice.
Do a little both. It still makes you sad.
It does. You're allowed to feel it. And you know, I've always said, y'all, you grieve the way you need to grieve for you. Yep. Don't let all the people around you make you feel like you're not allowed to grieve anymore.
There's no blueprint.
You're allowed to grieve. In anything.
No.
Time does have a way of making each day a little bit easier than the day before. Especially when we bury a child. It goes against nature to bury your child. Not that other losses don't devastate us equally, because we've lost a love in our life. It just goes against nature for a mother to have to bury her children. Or a dad too. I shouldn't minimize their pain. Micah, all those firsts are nightmarish even. My sister is in her. She is not raising two grands left behind. I try to reach out, but she is not ready.
No.
And when she is, she might be the one to reach out to you. It's great that we all come together and talk love and pray for each other. Be together from one heart to another. You're a blessing to so many you touch in one way or another. That's how I feel about each and every one of you guys. I'm so glad I'm not at work today. I so needed this. Oh, Kelly. Love Kelly.
I do
got to
too.
spend some time with
I love
her.
that girl.
She's hilarious. We had some good times up in Gatlinburg. We sure did. So Kelly, it's me hugging you. And always remember, it's easy to give up. But y'all, once you don't give up and you make it through whatever phase or stage you're in or circumstance, situation, you can look back and go, whew, I did it. Glad I didn't give up. I wouldn't be receiving this blessing I'm receiving right now if I had given up. So, and you know, when things don't work the way you expect them to or you want them to, there is nothing wrong with readjusting your path or or walking a little to the side, a little more to the left or right, or slowing your roll a little bit, or speeding it up. There's nothing wrong with that. That is not giving up. That is reassessing and moving a little bit differently in order to achieve whatever it is that you need this strength for. My granddaughter's 15th birthday falls on Mother's Day this year. This will also be her first Mother's Day without her mom. Oh. Yes, Kelly. Forget about the trolls.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Block and move on or ignore them.
We want to see you live, girl.
Let us know when you go, though.
Linda, absolutely. I lost my husband, my best friend, 12 years ago. And I still have moments on those special days that I remember and feel sad for a bit.
Yeah.
But it does remind me to be thankful for the 40 plus years
That's awesome.
that we did have. I totally agree, Linda. That's a great advice. I feel the same way. Knowing if I had known what would happen and that I would lose my children, I would not hesitate to still have those children. And so I consider it a blessing and a gift that I was allowed to be their mother for the time that I was. Well, I'm still their mom, but to have them present here, it's a gift. And I would do nothing to change that. And so, yes, it is. And I know Deanna said that. She feels blessed to have had her husband for 24, 25 years in her life. Even though she lost him 3 years ago, a little over 3 years, right? November was 3.
Yes, so 3.5 years.
3.5 years ago, she became a widow, and she lost the love of her life.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't want her to focus on the lost part. He would want her to focus on the life they shared and to focus on her and living a happy life now, having joy in her life now. That's what I would want for my loved ones. Let's see. I'm so glad they came here today. Even though I'm at work, I was really struggling with my daughter's death yesterday. Oh. Even though she died last July. That is not that long ago. Really need this conversation today, especially the part when people tell you how to grieve, what to do, and how long you should grieve. Lori Crayer. Girl. July is not that long ago. So first of all, please give yourself some grace. Second of all, if I could go back and tell the people who said the things they said to me that harmed me more than helped me, if I thought it would do an ounce of good, I would go back and tell them. Maybe even slap them. My grief is my grief. Your grief is your grief. You will never stop grieving the loss of a loved one. Never. Your grief just becomes manageable over time and less soul sucking, you know? But right now, girl, allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. And when you need to feel it, whether it's in the middle of the day at the office or in the evening or in the middle of the grocery store. I have busted loose in the Walmart before. I don't know why. I don't know what it was that triggered me. And here I go, not in hysterical tears, but tears falling because I'm like, my kids are gone. All of a sudden, 20 years later. So, yeah, don't listen to people. There is no true time limit. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Bobby.
James.
Say what?
Hi to Janet, James.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
She's not feeling good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's having gastro problems all week.
Oh, those are terrible. They're the worst.
I had to do the other prayer list, Janet.
My son is not dead. However, because of his actions, he chooses to hate me. Oh, I adopted his kids. He just hate me. Stay away from me. So, though he's alive, my heart aches as if he is gone. I pray every day that today is the day we will begin again. And Kathy, we need to pray.
Pray for the prodigal son to return.
Yes. Never give up on your son. I know I don't have to tell you this. He won't hate you forever. I don't know the circumstance. We don't need to know the circumstance that caused you to have to adopt his children and him to feel the way he feels right now. Just keep praying. When he's ready to receive the love that you have for him, you'll know. And things will seem all right with the world. And bless you for adopting his children,
Yes.
by the way. There is no time for grief. You will always be grieving. It gets better, not easier. As Dre just said, wish I could go back and slap myself. Feel it grow from it. If you need to reach out, reach out. Yes, healing for Kathy. There is no time or no book to tell you how to grieve. It's personal. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Looks like people are getting kicked off.
Getting kicked off.
Internet's being poo-pooed.
Well, let me tell you a story, really funny story, real quick before we go. So, you know we have the warehouse, ranchhousecraftsupplies.com. All right.
Oh, Lord.
So we went in Friday? Yes, Friday. Did some work. There was a squirrel in there. Deanna and Jesse did everything they could to get that squirrel out of there. Chased it around, blocked it, everything. Opened the door so it could be free. Nothing. Deanna and I did not go in on Saturday, but we went in Sunday, yesterday afternoon. That dang squirrel ruined, I don't know, 20 rolls of ribbon with its excrement. And tearing down the paper and things we had on the windows, understandably, because he's wanting to get outside. Stuff knocked over everywhere. Arrangements that I made knocked over onto the ground. Just everywhere. We had this mess. All right, so I'm frustrated. Anyway, I went around, took the screens off the windows. We have burglar bars, so he can get through that. So open the windows, open the doors. Tried to kick him out. We don't know if he left or not. We didn't know if he left or not. Okay. Hey, Dill. How you doing, handsome? Anyway, so I thought, and none of the traps we could get were going to get him. So I went and got glue boards. And put them in there. I don't want him to die. But we don't know what else to do.
So he's going to die a slow death.
I think what we could do is we could take it to the animal shelter once on the glue board.
Oh, my Lord.
Save it.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know about making bows. They'd be some nasty bows. Anyway, so it's been a nightmare for days.
Especially when you walk in and find stuff on the floor and it was like, okay, did a little mini earthquake come through here?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you little fart.
Good morning, Elizabeth. How are you?
Good morning.
You can watch the replay. No worries. Let's see. LaDonna. There we go. I was raised a preacher's kid and ended up on a path that was anything but the Christian I was raised to be. When I accidentally dropped my handgun that left me paralyzed from the waist down, I had people praying for me when I thought life was over. God gave me the grace to deal with a less than perfect situation. It's been 26 years and I'm so blessed. He used things to grow us and draw us closer to him. I wouldn't change a thing for the blessings I've enjoyed and the lives he's allowed me to touch because of it. His love is amazing. A couple of poems that help me greatly are The Weaver and He Maketh No Mistakes. That is beautiful. Look at you, taking something so negative and turning it into something so amazing.
What was the second one?
He maketh... I just passed it right up. A big dish of birdseed and peanuts outside an open door, entice him to go eat and then slam the door.
Well, he did get a strawberry.
We tried that. We put strawberries and peanuts out because they said they like fruit and nuts. So,
oh, and he got in my teacup and knocked it over. There was a little bit of tea left in there. Yeah, he had fun with that.
Yeah,
Little
it's
stinker.
a mess. I don't know what lesson I'm supposed to learn from that little squirrel, but it ain't patience.
I'm thinking he's learning a lesson. Don't go and open doors you don't know where you're going
Yeah.
into.
Anyway, y'all, never give up. never, never, never. Don't give up on yourself and all the things you deserve. I thought I was the only one that walked through Walmart, saw something my daughter used to love, and start crying. I'm glad I'm not the only one. At least I had 26 years with her. Absolutely, Lori. Absolutely. And that's the only way that we can look at it and make it through and, continue on.
My trigger's the military taps.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
even I
my
cry
trigger.
for that,
Yeah.
and my kids weren't military.
I know.
They do sell traps that look like a cage. Yes, but didn't have any locally.
Especially small enough to get it.
Well, I may end up calling animal control. They're probably going to go, what? Yes, Cheryl. Well, Deborah went in this morning and got shipping done and went back home because she's having bad allergy issues. And apparently he ran the place while we were gone. So who knows what we'll walk into this afternoon. So y'all, please say a prayer for some of family members that have come down with COVID. Her daughter is pregnant. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, count all the blessings, even the squirrel. Well, I'm not a squirrel lover, but I am an animal lover, and I don't want him to die, but I want him out of the shop. Just saying. So, remember, your present situation isn't your final destination. You have the strength you need to get through. Because, what did Napoleon say? Courage isn't having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have the strength. You got this. Y'all go out there and make it a great day and an even better week for yourself and those around you. Never give up your power. And that's the power to not give up. Do not give up. And don't listen to people who gave up on their dreams and they're talking negative to you about your dreams. What? No.
Janet and James, squirrel discounts?
Well, it's a thought.
Well, it is.
We'll see. Anyway, use some of that power, y'all, to celebrate you. Celebrating you and being positive about you helps everyone around you and helps you to bring a little more sunshine and positivity into the world, which we all need. And I want you to always, always, always choose joy, y'all. Have an amazing, make it an amazing day. Bye.